A very good morning, a very good evening, or a very good afternoon to each and every one of you, and welcome to the Talk Crypto podcast. This is episode 2, and my name is Roger Ferguson, and I'm very grateful to you for joining me on this journey. Now, for the purpose of the YouTube algorithms, I'd be very grateful if you were to hit that subscribe button, or rather, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I feel a very awkward having to say it, but I think it's necessary. So the next thing I want to mention is that this entire episode is not scripted, so you're going to hear the absolute raw version. And the reason for that is because I feel that there's a certain amount of authenticity in delivering it live in an unscripted version. So no doubt there will be some mistakes, some blunders, and I ask for your forgiveness in advance. So what can I say to you apart from that? Being the second episode, what I would like to do is to go a little bit more deeper. And we're going to go and check out Bitcoin in more detail. And I think, as you may recall, if you've listened to the first episode, I actually talked about Bitcoin being the genesis, and it's very important that we look at what, in my opinion, is perhaps the brand name of cryptocurrencies. I mean, generally, if you want to talk to anybody that's never heard about cryptocurrencies, when you just say Bitcoin, that is the brand name, and everybody, or the vast majority, I should say, of people all around this planet, it's very likely that they've heard the name Bitcoin. So that's where I want to begin. I want to go down, I wouldn't say the rabbit hole, but I actually want to delve a little deeper and look at some not necessarily academic papers, although in future episodes we will look at academic papers. But what I would like to do is look at the viewpoint of some very important organizations, such as the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and really try to ascertain what their viewpoint of the digital currency space is all about. Then I would like to look at the World Economic Forum and actually, try to extract what they think about digital currencies. And in starting with these important fundamental viewpoints, it helps us to build a bigger picture going forward, and then give us the understanding as to whether, one, we think that it is necessary for us on a personal level to participate in this space in light of the evidence that is being provided and shown here on the Talk Crypto podcast. I think it's very important at this stage for me to inform each and everybody listening that I am not a financial advisor, and anything that I do say is merely my own opinion. This YouTube channel, and if you are listening to it on a podcast platform, please understand that I am not a licensed financial advisor, and therefore anything that I say is, again, just my opinion. And if you would like to look into it further, then I think it's necessary that you seek your own independent financial advice. I think I've got that disclaimer out of the way. I think there's probably one more point, but I think I'll be beating a dead horse. I think you get the importance of me having to say that this is undoubtedly for education and for entertainment purposes only. Fantastic. We've done that. Once again, thank you for joining me on this Talk Crypto podcast, and we're going to just delve and dive straight into what I hope you find is a meaty content. And I did say to you that this is live, so it's unedited. I don't have the time. So here we go. I think the first place to start will be, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can see my screen. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, then let me just tell you I'm looking at bitcoin.org. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to go into detail because really I don't have the time. This is just intended to help my viewers when I actually do get some viewers. I currently have 0 subscribers. Today's the 5th of June. I have no subscribers, but that's fine. It takes time, right? So I'm just putting content out, and hopefully I will gain some subscribership, if that's even such a word. Okay. So the white paper, as I said, can be viewed on bitcoin.org. If you're on YouTube, you can see the screen. And I think it's a great place to start because this is the genesis of the cryptocurrency space, like I alluded to earlier with regard to Bitcoin as the brand name. Now, if you click on the English version, there are other translations too, but it just gives you an overview. It's just it depends on if you like or enjoy reading or not. It's a 9-page document. And I think it goes into some kind of detail as to what Bitcoin was intended to be by Satoshi Nakamoto. That is a pseudonym name. It could be a man, a woman, or a group of people. We don't know who the person is. But it just gives you an overview as to what Bitcoin was intended to be as per the white paper and what it currently is. So the white paper saw it as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. That's what it was intended to be in 2009. My humble opinion, in the year 2021, Bitcoin is not used as an electronic peer-to-peer cash system. It's used as a store of value. Now, as you conduct your own individual research, you'll come to understand this. So now, this particular part of the episodes are intended for the beginner. Now, I appreciate some people that may come onto this will be, the intermediary level or perhaps the advanced level. And in fact, those people would probably teach me, and I'm open to your suggestions and comments. But again, please bear with me if you are at the advanced level. This is designed for the newcomers. This is designed for people who would like to learn more. So I did tell you bitcoin.org is the website, and you can access the white paper there if that's what you'd like. Other than that, don't worry. If you're not into reading, I'll try and cover as much as I possibly can on this particular show and subsequent show. So I can't, it's not something that we can learn in one show. It's taken me close to almost 4 years to get to the level that I'm at, only because I had other things going on then. Today, I'm happy to say I'm full-time into the cryptocurrency digital asset space. That's exclusively what I do, and therefore my learning will be accelerated, and hopefully you'll hear it coming through in my delivery. Jumping on to CoinMarketCap. And CoinMarketCap is like, how can I put it? It's like the Dow Jones, right? Or it's like the NASDAQ, or it's like the FTSE 100. So it's basically a place that you come to look at the overall market capitalization of the entire cryptocurrency space. And then as you scroll lower, you'll see what each coin's current value is, as well as what each coin's market cap is. Once again, if you are listening to this on a podcast platform, you can access this particular cryptocurrency market cap, coin market cap rather, at coinmarketcap.com. So before I move any further, I just want you to know that today, being the 5th of June, the global crypto market capitalization is 1.63 trillion with a T. Bitcoin's market capitalization is 673 trillion. And I don't know if you remember or if you've actually listened to the first episode. I said on this show, for the moment, I'm going to be focusing or concentrating on just 3 projects, namely Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So that's all I'm going to be talking about for the next few episodes. So I think I mentioned that Bitcoin's market cap is 673 billion. And in the next page, I've just gone on to Wikipedia. Take it with a pinch of salt, because some could argue that Wikipedia is not necessarily an academic journal, and so therefore by extension its credibility is questionable. But just bear with me, just for the purpose of this example, I just want you to see and make a comparison. So the comparison was earlier 1.63 trillion on the 5th of June is the total market capitalization. We're looking at, as per the International Monetary Fund, we're looking at the GDP of, let's just look at most countries. And so 1.63 trillion is the number we're looking for to make a comparison of our country's GDP. Australia, as per the IMF 2021 estimates, has a GDP of 1.61, right? Therefore, by extension, the cryptocurrency market space at this moment in time is bigger than the GDP of Australia, Brazil, Mexico, Indonesia, Netherlands, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Taiwan, Iran, Poland, Sweden, Belgium, Thailand, Nigeria, Austria, Ireland, and Israel. You can go down, and there's a lot more. So that's the total market cap compared to country's GDP. Bitcoin's market cap is 673B with a billion. Now let's see Bitcoin's market cap compared to some countries. What was that number again? Number was 673 billion. So it's almost close to the market, to the GDP of Iran, which is at 682 billion. Poland has a 642 billion. So I'm going to give you some, forgive me if you belong to any of these nations. I'm just making a comparison as to, the market cap of Bitcoin. So I think I've made a point here. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to move on to the next one, to the next page rather, that I'd like to share. And it is the World Economic Forum. Again, I will put links to all of these in the show notes. And let's just understand who is the World Economic Forum. And for those of you that do know, kindly forgive me for making this overly simplistic. It's just for the benefit of any new people in this space. So the World Economic Forum is the international organization for public-private cooperation. It was established in 1971 as a not-for-profit foundation and is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. It's independent, impartial, and not tied to any special interests. The forum strives in all its efforts to demonstrate entrepreneurship in the global public interest while upholding the high standards of governance, moral, and intellectual integrity is at the heart of everything it does. So I think now that I've shared and told you who the WEF is, the World Economic Forum, we're going to go and look at what the World Economic Forum think about cryptos. I'm looking at a paper, if you're not on YouTube, and you can actually go to www.3.weforum.org and you can access this if you are listening to this on a podcast platform. So the paper I'm looking at, or rather the report I'm looking at, was written in December 2020 by the World Economic Forum, and it's entitled Crypto, What is it good for? An overview of cryptocurrency use cases. So as I scroll down the document, I really am not going to read all of it. I'm only going to concentrate on the World Economic Forum's view on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple or XRP. Ripple is the company, the token is XRP. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And we're going to look at what the WEF has to say about it as we scroll down. So here we go. This is what the WEF says about Bitcoin. It says, since the advent of the internet, cryptographers and innovators have struggled to create a native currency for transactions on the internet. So that's just the first part. I don't want to go into too much detail. It says Bitcoin is an open source protocol and software development project. The Bitcoin network is made up of computers running the Bitcoin protocol and including miners who use specialized chip called ASICs to organize Bitcoin transactions into blocks and add these blocks to the blockchain in exchange for transaction fees and the opportunity to earn Bitcoin via the block reward. So again, you can do your own research, but it just is important that you see that there are very important organizations that have a viewpoint on these digital assets. The next one is Ethereum. Ethereum is a global open source network and platform for running new types of applications. Ethereum is known as a smart contract platform where these applications can program the transfer of value from one address to another when certain conditions are met. The goals of Ethereum was initially conceptualized as a world computer that would decentralize the client-server model of the internet. So again, you can do your own research, and I very much encourage you not to take my word for it, but indeed to DYOR, or to do your own research. It's very, very important that you do that. And last of all, on the WEF's report, I want to talk about XRP. The native token is XRP. The company that actually is responsible for the development of this token is known as Ripple. So Ripple is building next generation financial infrastructure with blockchain technology. So its payment network is RippleNet. It offers connections to hundreds of financial institutes around the world via a single application programming interface, and makes moving money faster, cheaper, and more reliable. If you listen to my first episode, I briefly talked about how XRP is trying to solve the problem that exists in the remittance space, whereby if you're trying to transfer money, for example, I use the example, I live in the United Kingdom, and if I was sending money to relatives, family, friends in India, by using XRP through the organizations that support it, it would reduce the transaction fees and it would increase. Sorry, let me get that right. It would increase the transaction speed and it would reduce the cost. So again, please go ahead and do your own research. It's all here for you if you'd like to learn a little bit more. The next one I want to talk about is the IMF, and this is actually intended to create a foundation upon which we'll build our learning. And the intention for this one was, or rather this episode was, to tie in how the WEF, the World Economic Forum, has a viewpoint, and of course the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, which I'm sure everybody's heard of, they also have a viewpoint. And so the report that I'm looking at, it just tells you, this was written on October the 30th, 2020, and it talks about the new forms of digital money and the implications for monetary and financial stability. So, you can go ahead and see it. I will link to this particular website in the show notes. So I think if I just read you a very brief paragraph, it just says, in short, it is very timely to discuss this issue, the issue being digital money. And it goes on to read, it says, we are living through a phase of unprecedented global drive to improve the efficiency of cross-border payments. For example, and you may have heard of this, Facebook Libra pledges to improve cross-border payments, and many countries are working with CBDC. CBDC is an acronym for the Central Bank Digital Currency. So again, please do your own research, and you can actually read about any Google search will bring it up, or you can have a read in the show notes where I will link to these websites. There was something else I wanted to share with you, and I think this video has gone on for long enough, but the intention was to just tie in the viewpoints of the World Economic Forum, the viewpoints of the International Monetary Fund, in summarizing this entire episode. And it was also trying to show you, or even if you're listening, what the overall market capitalization of the cryptocurrency space is today, and compared that with some countries, or rather, countries' GDP. And so I hope you've enjoyed this second episode, and I hope it encourages you to do your own research, and so that you could discover how transformative to our world these technologies can be. And I think we will leave it there. I truly hope you've enjoyed this second episode of the Talk Crypto podcast. My name is Roger Ferguson, and I hope you join me on the next show. I initially said I'll bring you 2 shows, a minimum of 2 shows a week, and this is number 2. As I have a little bit more time, I'll hopefully bring you more. Before you go, and if you've managed to stay with me up until this point, would you please hit that subscribe button and that like button, and please turn on your notifications. And so each time I make a new video, you will be alerted of it. I think I'll wrap it up there. I truly hope you enjoyed this. I was talking a little quicker because I'm mindful of the time, and I'm mindful as to how long these videos can take. And so I'm forcing myself to have to speak a lot quicker than I usually do, although I do tend to speak a little quick. I hope you've managed to understand me, and I hope you've got some value from this particular episode. So again, thank you once again for joining me on this journey as together we learn more about this digital asset space. This is your host, Roger Ferguson, signing off and thanking you for joining me on the Talk Crypto podcast. Bye-bye.